They'll be calling you a radical, so the hits just keep on coming. BYU's now in on the SMR action. By the way, BYU, I'm going to send this to some people I know in the administration down there. I thought you were going to name the English department after my auntie, who grew up right here where I'm standing. May Blanche. I thought, so BYU's in on it. You got your merit badge, front page of KSL from hell. What the fuck has happened to KSL? Well, they turned into Operation Foxconn News. Fuck, you go to the airport now, that piece of shit in Salt Lake. Fuck, which I say you better push a handcart. If I could talk about being a Mormon pioneer, that's a hell of a walk. That beautiful, incredible airport. They tore it down, built that big, ugly box. Fucking Governor Cox, who got in bed with Bill Gates, who stole the operating system from where? BYU! Alan Ashton. He's David O. McKay's grandson. What? Bruce what? Now, BYU. So this is on the front page of KSL from hell. Wait till you see this. And he's talking about he's come up with a fucking small nuclear reactor that fucking has no byproduct. Okay, sure. We can get on the action. University of Utah has a small SMR. It's teeny small. The only SMR, small modular reactor, are so teeny and so small. They use them on fucking submarines. They could barely light up a ship. They're there's one at the university. Remember that girl threatened to blow it up and fucking made national headline, which we was joking. If the University of Utah lost. You know who they fucking remind me of, BYU, right now? Their football team. Yeah, they're top 10 in the country. This is how stupid sports writers are. They got beat by 30 by Liberty. They're horrid. They suck. They always suck. The hype. There's no fucking SMRs. He's got a little teeny design fucking one, which all he's done is copy fucking the same one that's out there. Because if you get any fucking mass or size to them, they blow the fuck up. Because they're 5 times fucking hotter than a fucking water, and they're all nothing but water boilers. So you get your own little personal water boiler fucking nuclear in your house. That's what he's got. And KSL puts it on the front fucking page, so he does this dissertation. He does an interview. Oh, people think bad of nuclear because of Chernobyl. And he says Chernobyl will not say Fukushima. Don't say the F word. Do not say the F word. And by the way, I'll tell you how Utah I am. Mormon. I'm a Mormon. People don't know. I'm a Mormon. I come from infamous bloodlines on all 4 sides. Ella Potter and Abraham Hunsaker, fucking the 4th, got married. I'm their oldest I'm their grandson. Ike Potter got here in 1822. Abe the First, without Abe the First, there is no Mormon church. Fuck, there is no BYU without him. There's no University of Utah without him. I'm Abe the Fourth's grandson. Remember, they were the Mormon socialists. Speaking of Fawn McKay Brody, and speaking of fucking the McKays, David O. McKay's fucking grandson at BYU invented the operating system. And Bill Gates stole it from you. Remember Novell Word Perfect? Break out your fucking Novell stuff. I mean, come on. My brother was the CFO there. And man, remember? It was Word Perfect. Remember? Remember, you forget this. How soon you forget it, BYU. What the hell you invented? The fucking operating system was invented at BYU. It was invented at BYU. Hello. Get in the band. Alan Asher and Bruce Bastian invented freaking the operation system. Word Perfect had 99% of the market. Fuck, I had to learn all those commands. What is the matter with you people? I mean, you got no memory? Remember when the Mormon church were socialists? I mean, hardcore socialists. By the way, Trump's a fucking socialist. And you got Burgess fucking Owens? Really? Really? The bankrupt football player who's... Oh, God. Well, go elect freaking Herschel Walker, the most overrated football player in history. Where's Steve Young when you need him? Now, that was a football player, wasn't he? Oh, my God. The greatest football coach in the history of football. BYU, oh yeah. Lavelle Edwards. 8 coaches from Lavelle Edwards. 8 coached in the NFL at the same time, including Andy Reid. Don't even get me going on that guy. LaVell Edwards is the greatest football coach in history. By the way, my friend when I was a kid, first time I ever met him, the greatest player in BYU history, Steve Young. Oh, no. He's second. Jim McMahon. Good Catholic boy. I remember the first time I met him here in Roy. He was punting. And he punted. I mean, I'll tell you a great story about Jim. One eye. People don't realize he lost his eye when he was a kid. And if he wouldn't have got drafted by the Bears, he would be he's the greatest athlete I ever saw. Why do you guys deny your beautiful legacy at BYU? These incredible people. Bruce Bash and Alan Ashton, fucking Novell, were perfect. Who rolled in and took Bill Gates? Remember, he worked the deal in 75. And you're going to get in bed with Bill Gates to build SMRs in Cameron? No, you're not. It's a lie, Governor Cox. I asked Governor Cox to his face. It's online about these SMRs. He said he didn't even know what they were. I asked the Attorney General of Utah at the Bear River Massacre in Idaho. Governor Cox got up and said, the reason we are here is for the first time at the Bear River Massacre is because this was Utah territory. And after I says, I don't mean to play I gotcha, but no, it wasn't. This was never Utah territory. Franklin, Idaho was Washington territory. That's not what we were told. I get a hold the freaking folded paper crane from Sudoku's great niece, handed to me in the Enola Gay hangar. Leukemia Vic, they brought it to present it to, I'm the second guy. A real one. Hello. I'll tell you this great story about Jim. It's great. I played against him. Fuck. Whoa. By the way, how about that nephew of mine? Ooh, the infamous Blanches. I'll show you athletes. Google Claude Blanche, BYU. He just passed away. Football, BYU. Google him. 5 letters. I mean, drafted the NFL, but probably the most decorated pilot in the fucking history of this country post-World War II. BYU. Chemistry major. Big-time anti-nuclear, too, by the way. I mean, why does BYU deny their beautiful legacy? Jim McMahon. First time I met him, he was punting. I'm like, holy shit. I was 14, 15 years old. I'm like, I never seen in the park in Roy. I went over and visited with him. Oh, my God. I'm like, whoa. Roy High, unbelievable. I mean, and he was a better pitcher than he was football player. Woo, I played baseball against him. Nobody hit him. Nobody. I mean, you're lucky to get a foul tip off the guy. The greatest tight end in history? He just died. He played at BYU. LaVell Edwards is the greatest football coach in football since Knute Rockne anyway. Or Alonzo Stagg. You take the credit for the greatest NFL team in history. Those 49ers with Walsh. Walsh coached for freaking LaVell Edwards. The West Coast was invented by LaVell Edwards. Jim McMahon. They signed him as a punter at BYU. He gets in his sophomore year. He's the punter as quarterback. He never punted the rest of the season. I think they put up 70 on Utah State his first game. Every game. I was at that game in San Diego against freaking Eric Dickerson and Craig James SMU, the greatest comeback in sports history. I was at that game in San Diego. The statue at Old Town is Abraham Hunsaker the first, Michael. I mean, what does it matter with you, BYU? What does it matter with you? Why are you denying your legacy like this? Bruce Bastian and Alan Ashton should be statues of them there. What Bill Gates did to Novell, remember he was going to work it with the mouse in 95. I met Steve Jobs at Weber State. I Omega, freaking US Robotics, fucking Novell. My brother was the CFO there. Oh, Eric Schmidt rolled in and got it. Yeah, that Eric Schmidt. Became COO, stole the $1 billion, and Silicon Slopes, before there was Silicon Slopes, we were the technology capital of the fucking world. And we just let these fucking thieves. And you're going to promote it, SMR, when everybody in southern Utah, and this is not commentary from Kevin Blanche. You think that state line where they drew the line in Nephi and you're going to get a check? My father died. I'll tell you how Utah I am. I'll tell you. You got your merit badge. I'll tell you how Utah I am. My social media, my addresses on all my social medias used to show up as the LDS East 8 Bone Marrow Transplant Center. I lived there for 5 years. I'm so fucking Utah. My dad died, nuked to death in a Nevada test site. I'll tell you how Utah I am. I remember I got invited to the Nathan Barker, which is the #1 junior high track meet in the country, at BYU. You know, Lamar Hesher, what he did to me. I used to run against Ed Eyestone. Me and Ed would go at it. My track coach, what he did to me, ooh, that creep can rot in hell. At BYU, you know, I have so much history there. You know, all us Blanches do. I hope my nephew Christian, who's the best player in the state of Utah, I hope he doesn't play at BYU. He was on a recruiting trip at Weber State. I hope he signs there. I'm disgusted at BYU. You know, really. You're denying your own legacy? Everybody down there has cancer. We all know. And I could prove this. This is not opinion by Kevin Blanche, the greatest PhD in human history. I did the type. You won't mention the Fukushima word, doctor? Okay. Oh, some CIA freaking BYU bought the Jazz. And Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge never won shit. You know, well, I guess he did. I take it back. Larry Bird, you're on the team with Bird, McHale. Utah Jazz. What a joke. The operating system, when they're compatible with WordPerfect and thing, Bill Gates. Remember it popped up? Eat shit, F you, go to hell. This is who you're in bed with. So we had a trial in 2011 here in Utah. Bill Gates is on trial for stealing the operating, multi-billion-dollar lawsuit. I would have been there protesting, but guess where I was? Fighting the Fukushima freaking meltdowns. I was full of cancer, given 2 months to live. Vincent Hansen, BYU, my doctor. Go ask him. I would have been there protesting, but I was in LDS East 8 bone marrow transplant, fucking going out of a coma. That's how Utah I am. Any given day, you go into that unit, which is the #1. They call the Huntsman the luxury good of death. That's not my words. That's LDS East 8. The #1 leukemia unit probably in the world now because of Fimbo Peterson. I'm living proof. I have AML de novo with a marker of 44, Devoto. No one survives that. I'm alive. Vincent, who brother and father both died of thyroid cancer, who lived right there at BYU. He says I'm the biggest miracle in his fucking life. My uncle, the guy who invented the open heart surgery, the bypass surgery, Dr. Blanche. Kevin, don't let him ever open you unless you're going to die. Oh yeah, he's BYU guy. You deny your own legacy. We had a lawsuit. One juror hangs out. While I'm in that unit, on any given day, Southern Utah makes up less than 5% of the Utah population. Any given day in that unit, well over half. Used to be 44 beds. There's 88 in there from Utah, or Southern Utah. The red dust, we call it down there. Everybody down there gets cancer from nuclear fallout. Build a nuclear reactor on the green. Why not put a statue of Ted Bundy on life? I'm the guy that daggered Blue Castle, Kevin Blanche, and everybody knows it. Go ask Fimble. I'm sucked up to nothing inside the bone marrow triangle. He says, look at this. He brings in the Tribune and lays it in my... I'm dying. I weigh 119 pounds. I'm in a quarantined in a bone marrow transplant center. He says, you need to go there and fight him, Kev. I'm quarantined right here across Memory Grove. I used to go to Memory Grove and pray every day, remember? Lord, I remember. Way up. Where'd you sleep last night? Don't you fucking lie. I slept in the dead fucking pines with the sons from Fukushima, Japan. Don't say the F word, BYU. Don't say the F word, BYU. BFU. I'll give you a pass. Here's 2 nurses, go. I'm over there in my gown just fighting with them. I'm the guy that exposed that Lead Dog Hedge Fund, their original funding was a fraud. Which it was, just like NewScale. I'm the guy that exposed Kenwood, He's doing 160 years in a prison cell in South America, the original funny from NUKE. There are no SMRs. Anytime it's been tested, they peeled them off the ceiling at INL, Idaho National Lab. Jose Reyes and Trump's appointee to the NRC work together at Idaho National Lab, and then she becomes to talk about corporate bleeding. Hello, it's a fraud. There are no SMRs. There's no such thing. His fraud, the water boilers, and KSL puts it up. Price-Anderson, 1957 Congressional Act, Immunity Act, free money. I'll say this at the end, and I'll end this. Somebody should interview me. BYU, you got your fucking merit badge. So I want to say this to the good doctor. When you get leukemia or you get cancer, which everybody down there does, and they shipped you to LDS State. Oh, it's brutal in there, and I mean fucking brutal. Google Marshall Jensen, most famous fucking AML leukemia case in the world. He was in the room next to me. Me and him were close friends. Nancy, fucking, I mean, I go on and on and on. All of you at BYU, you're going to see, oh, okay. You're going to the Celestial Cat? Well, I don't know where you're going. It's disturbing. Hand him your fucking merit badge. Hand him your merit badge. And remember, I'm a Mormon. I'm 7th generation. The bloodlines I came from, handcart and push Mormons even before handcart pushers. Why are you doing this, KSL? You go to the airport and it says the King's Bookstore. KSL. Why? Why? These are early hand-carting pushing Mormons, and this was Mexico when they got there. I remember how anti-federal government and anti this kind of thing they were. Remember, it was Deseret. When I was a kid, they were flag burners. Now we got the great big giant flag flying right here. They were flag burners. I mean, what the hell happened? What happened to you at BYU? What happened to you? Don't say the F word. Unbelievable. Why are you denying your beautiful legacy at that university? Why are you turning your university into this? Why? Why? Read the article. Chernobyl, Chernobyl, Chernobyl. See no nuclear energy evil. Speak no negative. I will say this to you. You think you're the nuclear energy emperors. You have no fucking clothes. Stay tuned.